Hey everyone, it's Joe. Welcome back to the channel. First of all, congratulations to everyone who survived One Book July. It was a wild month and I think a lot of us have learned a few things. And today I want to share you my experience as well as flip through my completed One Book July notebook. So as you can see, my setup is pretty much the same as it was at the beginning of the month, but I suck at completing gratitude journals. It just shows how I don't want to say I'm ungrateful, but sometimes I just forget about this actual insert and I forget to list down things that I'm grateful for. So I used it about halfway through the month. I think even in my midpoint check-in about One Book July, I was raving about how I was doing so well with this, but I guess I jinxed myself because I stopped using it and then I kind of repurposed it and used it as a health journal towards the end of the month. But this is the main insert that I wanted to show you all and to talk about. This is my hybrid journal. This is part planner, part bullet journal, part daily journal / art journal. So it was a catch-all book basically. And I really liked it. I think in my first video, I was talking about how I wanted to get away from using post-it notes, but I realized that I kind of suck at using this as both a planner and a journal. So as you can see, I was planning a few things here and there in the first 3 weeks, and I was using some bullet journaling tactics at the beginning of my journey, but I kind of forgot that this was also my bullet journal, and I wasn't doing a lot of planning on like an analog notebook. I was doing a lot of my planning on my computer, which I mean, that's the nature of how things are going, and it kind of pains me to do most of my planning on like a web platform like Google Calendars or like an iCalendar, but I guess that was just the way I don't know, like that's how I was gravitating towards planning, which is kind of sad. I have been keeping a physical planner since I don't even know, like a long time ago, from high school and all the way until university. And I think I'm still an analog planner kind of person, but I want to find a way that I can kind of mix both. So as you can see in the few pages that I've shown you so far, I have these little kind of 4 days or 3 days at a glance. So I'll do that here and there, and then I'll write my bullet journal tasks here and there, and it kind of adds a fun element to my journaling because I usually have some sort of formula where I put the date somewhere, and then I have my writing somewhere, and then I have like an art collage drawing doodle element. So it was fun incorporating that, but then there were days where I won't really journal or use this notebook, and I'll have like blank spaces where I don't have any planning. So that spread where I had like the art, I didn't have any planning, and in this spread I didn't have any planning because I used post-its, and then those post-its weren't aesthetically pleasing enough, so I just recycled them. So it kind of like defeats the purpose, and I think I got a little too fussy with this notebook because I wanted it to look good. I wanted it to be a nice like time capsule of my July, and I have successfully created a journal spread for each day of July. So it might be a half spread or even like half a page, but I still journaled about each single day in July, which was amazing because as much as I rave about daily journaling, I still kind of suck at doing that. I really tried to be intentional this month and make time for it, which was great. And as you can see, I kind of moved through different styles in my bullet journal / whatever insert we're calling this. So at the beginning, it was very muted with black and white tones, and then I was getting sick of it and I started painting again. And I loved the last few spreads in this notebook because I kind of revisited color and realized, man, I love color. I like this like warm toned color palette with like an icy blue. And then I also explored just doing more monochrome spreads. And it's really fun. I feel like I am even more confused about my art style or journaling style, but part of me is just like, screw that. Like, I'll just do what I want in my journal. I think I'm so wrapped up with like trying to have this distinct style in my notebooks and in my journals and in my bullet journal as well, that it kind of inhibits me from like just journaling, because I am worried that it's not in my style. So as you can see here, I wanted to do that monochrome type look on the left hand side, and then I was like, wait, I have these new Posca paint markers, I'm just gonna play around. So this is probably one of my favorite spreads because it shows like my two styles, like the very muted and like torn paper and like edges, and the other side is just like color and fun and cutesy. And I kind of played around with that, so I was kind of mixing darker tones with like these super bright pastel Posca paint pens. I really like these last few pages because it kind of bridges what I've been doing in the first half of July and then what I was playing around with my watercolors. So this spread has a mix of like those pastels, and then I wanted to do one spread where it was just like a sketchbook spread. So I was just playing around and I just wanted to treat this like a sketchbook, and I realized that I don't really keep a sketchbook where I can like quote unquote fail in my notebook, because I don't do that often. I didn't show you the last spread because it has some like private information and stuff that I didn't want to share on camera, but it was a pretty cool way to end the spread or end this notebook. And the other things in my notebook setup obviously stayed the same. That craft insert that I always have, and then I have my leather zipper pouch that has some journaling goodies. I just realized that I don't often grab whatever's inside that zipper pouch, but I still love it because it looks so luxurious. But overall, I enjoyed my One Book July experience. I realized that I do like to keep a creative planner, whether it's a bullet journal, but I also have a hard time sticking to it. So I think moving forward, I want to find a better planning solution in which I use digital planning as well as some analog planning, because I do like the mix of both, but I do want to kind of work that out. At least I know that I can use one book to do it all, but I do miss my other notebooks like my bullet journal and my field note size notebooks. There's a lot of things that I miss, but I absolutely enjoyed this experience, and I really recommend everyone to just try and minimize their planning and journaling setup, because you can kind of, I don't know, free yourself from the expectations of using all your notebooks. So I hope this was an informative video, and I hope you enjoyed One Book July. Let me know in the comments how you liked your One Book July experience, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.